Hey everyone, welcome to Catholic Girl Talk. I am so excited to be back doing a video. This is going to be like a more honest and vulnerable conversation on my part with a little bit of a story about kind of where the Lord has been taking me these past couple months, and just grab like a nice little cup of have a little conversation with me, because this is going to be me sharing my heart. And when I chose surrender as my word of the year, I had absolutely no idea the places that the Lord would take me with this word, right? He asked me to surrender so many things, from the little things to the big things. And over the past couple months in prayer, as I've been striving to do all these things in my life, getting such and such done, doing this and this ministry, and doing so many different things, in prayer, the Lord just really called me to be stepping back and surrender, to let go of my plans, to let go of my dreams, of my desires, of my plans for the future, of my plans for the now, to just let go of all of them and give them to Him. And especially, He was calling me to reprioritize, put God first, my family and my friends next, and myself, taking care of myself, and putting all those things in perspective, and then turning towards ministry after that. So for a person like me, who's like a doer and a go, it's really hard to do that. But I was listening to this wonderful podcast, I'll link it below, because Benzinger on the podcast was saying, dreaming starts with a divine imagination, but it comes to fruition through surrender and obedience. God does amazing things through surrendered people. I heard those words on the podcast. I'm not kidding, girls, I played those words, like press, the go back 10 seconds. I played that at least 10 to 20 times. What my heart needed to hear, because I have these great dreams and great desires and plans to serve the Lord. But though that may start with Him, it can only be fulfilled when we let the Holy Spirit work through that. Especially me, coming from a season where I have to reprioritize, step back. It was hard for me to see that the Lord had plans for me. And so those words just really stuck with me, and I was really clinging to those words, clinging on so tight, because it was really getting me through. I have a little story that will show that's a little confirmation of how He really does come through. It has to do with this quote from one of my favorite poems, The Hound of Heaven by Francis Thompson. All which I took from thee, I did but take, not for thy harms, but just that thou might seek it in my arms. When we let go of something, when we give something to Jesus, when we surrender something to the Lord, it's not so that He can just take it away and whatever. I mean, definitely we do have to root sin out of our lives, okay? But when we give Him something such as my dreams or my plans or whatever it may be, or an attachment to something or a friendship or a relationship, it's so that we can find it in Him. I had this desire to create and to do something for the Lord, to be sharing my faith, right? Something along those lines. And I had this great desire, and I was planning and doing all this stuff, but then I gave it to Jesus, so that now I've been able to find it in His arms, right? So I was really at a place of, okay, you know what, God, I really don't know where You're calling me to, or what You're calling me to do, what kind of ministry You're calling me to be involved in. Lord, I just don't know, so here I am. I'm just doing my thing, trying to stay on top of school and friends and family and all that. So I was sitting in a place that I almost am never at. And this lady who's from my church, but I pretty much have never talked to her, maybe once or said hi or something. She came up to me while I was sitting there doing my schoolwork, and she said, "Hey Olivia, can I talk to you about something?" And I was like, "Sure." She goes on to explain this project that she's working on that she wanted me to help with. And as she was explaining that, I sat there and the tears came to my eyes. If you're my friend, you know that I cry a lot, okay? Because it was so obvious and so clear that the Lord was giving me this opportunity to be involved in a project creating that I had been desiring. That was me letting go and finding it in His arms. And it It's something that is bigger than I could have imagined, right? Something that's beyond myself, that's involving other women, something that I wouldn't have thought of. And so it's something bigger and better than my plans and my dreams for creating. So it was just really, really an amazing confirmation to me, and keeps me going when I think about my plans for after high school. So I know a lot of you are thinking about that too. Probably like, okay, what college am I gonna go to? What am I gonna do after high school? What am I gonna study? And it's really stressful. It's a really stressful decision. I totally get that, okay, girls? Because I'm right there with you. I'm learning to be okay with letting go of that and asking God, okay, God, what do you want? So many times I would talk to my friend, and she's such a good friend to remind me of this. I'd be like, I don't know what to do after high school, blah, blah, blah. And she just said, just pray about it. Literally, just ask the Lord, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do, right? And maybe the answer is not always going to be super clear. That's okay. Sometimes we have to make our best judgment or best decision and go with it, and then the way will become clear from there. But yeah, so that's my little 2 cents of inspiration for you. Get this mug at Live Today Well Collective, by the way. I'm drinking tea from it. Another thing I wanted to leave you with is the future of Catholic Girl Talk. I'm not quite sure where the Lord's calling me to with it, but you'll be hearing more about that in the next couple months, I think. But for now, I just wanted to say that, I really want Catholic Girl Talk to be a place where high school girls like you are just encouraged and uplifted. And it's great to have that online space where you're seeing something like Catholic Girl Talk and being encouraged and uplifted, but it's so necessary to have that in person, of good and true friendships, right? And so I would love to be able to give you some tools for that. I have an intentional friendship guide, which I actually used with my friends, and we loved it. It was really, really promoted really good, deep discussion. So I'll link that below so you can check it out. Like, surrender to the Lord, girls. Surrender, and His plans are going to be so much better than you could have ever imagined. And I'm right there with you, girls, right? We're right on this journey together. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, so comment below. Please find me at Catholic Girl Talk on Instagram, where I post lots of inspiration. Join the email list. Have a beautiful day, and God bless.